That seems to work. Are you ready for the last slot?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, thank you for your patience. So my slot will be about something very infrastructure related. How many of you are Hadoop and Hive customers? Are these here somewhere? At least one?
We had.
You used to be one.
Yeah.
We too. We moved away from it.
Happens.
So for you, that will be, you are the happy customers, the lucky customers, and I will just tell you why. It's about really how to modernize the analytics infrastructure, moving away from Hadoop and Hive towards an Iceberg and object storage. And unfortunately, this one doesn't work anymore, so I tried with the manual one. So my name is Oliver Hensel. I'm with NetApp. As you can see, yeah, gray hair, 30 years in storage industry. Sorry for that. And no, it's 3. Over the years, a number of areas of focus, and my love baby really is object storage for a number of years, and that's why someone thought they could invite me to this session. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I want to start with this one. I mean, we are living in the world of data. The data is changing. That world is changing, and the problem is, can we cope with it? It's mainly about the tight coupling of compute and storage that has, if we look at Hadoop, for instance, HDFS has led to real issues with regards to scalability, to resource contention, to cost, and so on, to availability concerns. And if we look for the imperatives, there are multiple ones. You can read yourself, right? Multi-engine access. What does it mean? It's basically the ability to use multiple ingest applications like Flink, like Trino, in order to get access to the data and not replace the storage or reformat the storage every time you change the query engine. Second, open standards. The same, basically, use open APIs, use an open table format that basically keeps your query engine, that you can change your query engine, but with the REST spec, you can, or catalog spec, you can basically access the same data in place without having to store it and reformat it over and over again. And what I think is it's really important that cloud native architecture decouple compute and storage in order to independently scale both once you need it, which means it will have an impact on resource contention, on performance, scalability, and also on efficiency. That's what we storage people are talking a lot about. And last but not least, cost. And so to say, there are a number of challenges when we talk about these Hadoop environments, when we want to scale them, when we want to expand them. And I would say the core challenge really is the decoupling of compute and storage. So if you need more capacity, you need to buy more compute, or vice versa. If you need to change something, you sometimes need downtime. If you need to migrate, or if there's basically a failure in one of these components, you need to pull down that particular node and repair it. So that has service impact, and basically an impact on your application. So all of the other challenges are tightly related, if I talk about performance, assurance, or others. So if we can fix that one, it would help a lot. And let me continue. I mean, Hive basically has to live with these flaws, with that architectural flaw. And basically, how it works is, once it starts a query, it basically performs a list operation. And that list operation goes through the entire directories and through all the table partitions, through all the partitions, in order to basically to get basically the location of all the files or all the objects that it needs to query. The problem is, at scale, it may take minutes. You are probably aware of that. And so it may take minutes before even the first query, the query starts reading data from the storage. And that really was, I think, our own IT started, I think, 10 years ago with Hadoop. And over the years, they found out it's not going to work. So they basically migrated towards, I think, and Snowflake. And nowadays, we are on Dremio. So very close to, sorry for that. I don't know what's happening next year. Maybe we move towards Starburst. Could be.
What a reference architecture with us. You already have a reference architecture with us.
That's true.
One question for you.
Yes.
With regards to listing, so I'm also aware that object storages have this deficiency that they are not able to list very fast at scale. If there would be this constraint, would we still be content with a table format similar to Hive, which is more based on listing instead of?
If we did it the same way, yes, we would suffer from the same issues. But happily. Fortunately, Starburst said, oh, sorry, the open table formats has left to the manifest files, and that are much easier basically to get a list of the files or object structure. That means you can directly do a get operation and not having to basically to do a tree walk, a list operation across everything. That's for sure, yeah. So that was a help. But let me continue. So where was I? Okay, the list operations, and we see that really is something that. So fortunately, that was improved with the Iceberg catalog. To basically run with the open table format with column-based files, the ORC files. And Apache Iceberg, really what they did is to change some of these constraints, like implement the automated partition discovery instead of that manual assignment. That they now do full ACID transactions, atomic, consistent, isolated, and durable transactions. And schema changes can now be done online. You don't have to have a downtime in order to apply a schema change anymore. And there's more, and you can also do time travel. So really see basically do a query based on history data, not anymore on the latest updates. And that for sure were several benefits that were introduced with Iceberg. And from its how does it do it? And we already covered it with those manifest files and manifest trees. What was it? You can correct me. Manifest lists and manifest files. Yeah. Iceberg basically can get an immediately a list of the files instead of having to ask for it and then wait for the response to come from the object storage. So that's why object storage is really a very good fit, and it does allow for much faster operations. And how fast, I can show you. And this is also a blog that we published on our community site. just showing basically Hive along with Iceberg in an environment as you can read yourself. So basically, almost 60% faster for count operations, more than 60% faster for aggregation queries, 80% faster for schema reads within the same environment. So same infrastructure footprint. I think that's the main topic. You saw all the benefits with the full asset transactions, schema changes online, and so on, that are coming also in line with that. Yeah, and I mean, all that is enabled with an object storage. And for sure, you can use an open source object storage, no problem. You can use S3 in AWS. It will work. If you're deemed to work on-prem, maybe, and if you need to scale to enterprise levels, and which can mean, like you did at Finanzinformatik, petabyte scale, then you may want to rely on an enterprise-ready object storage, S3 compatible. NetApp basically has invested in 2 different flavors, not just a single trick pony. One for the performance part, which is running based on ONTAP, can run everywhere, so on-prem, virtually, even in the cloud at AWS FSxN, or as an deployed ONTAP system in the market via the marketplace in any hyperscaler. So the 3 big ones. And it does provide multi-protocol access. So you can access the same data via S3 or via NFS SMB. It does also provide block access if you need it from the same system. But for our use case, typically we only want S3. Storage Grid, on the other hand, is more the scale-out object storage. It's a distributed system. It's really built or can be built like at the hyperscalers with availability zones and regions and so on. But it really can scale to not just peta, it can scale to exabytes if you want to order. Yes?
Yeah, I want to add that our choice did not only rely on how amazing NetApp is,
No.
but the S3 implementation was ready for all the requirements Lakekeeper and Starburst had. So we had different vendors, and they could not match the S3 requirements. So in the end, we landed by NetApp, and we had the best solution, therefore, only by choice of compatibility.
Yep.
So therefore, you have, if you want to use this combination with other vendors, check the compatibility.
Exactly.
So it's not only about performance or cost or whatever, but it has to run, and that was something really important for us because we could not allow not matching requirements having a production size that big.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. And basically both products will work with Iceberg and are tested and validated with it. Yeah.
From a developer perspective, the ONTAP solution, I remember that we explored internally with how to use it. And as a developer, I didn't find a Docker image to try it out. Is this anything that you plan in the near or medium future?
Our customers can use so-called simulators, but these are to be deployed via VMware Workstation also. So there's no Docker image. Or you could use lab on demand.
Solution architect or someone to guide you.
Or to guide you or to give you basically a small installation, which can be even on containers. That's possible as well.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah. We do support both Docker, physical appliances, virtual appliances. Whatever you want.
Got it. Thank you.
For me, the main difference is really if it's about latency, a lot of metadata queries, you're rather here. If you need secure token service, so the Sumoro API, for instance, it's available here only. So this may be one of the reasons why you took this route. And this is really for higher, basically, scalability, even across regions. And we take care about durability and availability of the data here with so-called, we call that ILM, the Information Lifecycle Management, which is basically a rule-based placement and retention of the objects in the storage. But I don't want to talk too much about products. I mean, if you were at HDFS in Hive and you wanted to move towards Iceberg and a data lake, you got to migrate your data anyway. And you can use the tools that are coming with HDFS, like this CP. If you have sufficient CPU available in your production cluster, or if you have enough infrastructure available to spin up another HDFS cluster, no problem, you can do that. Or you can use XCP, which is a tool provided by NetApp, and you can use it for free. So I think the website is xcp.netapp.com. You can download the software, request a license for free, and use it to basically identify the data and move the data in a lightweight version. I would break down this migration process into phases. First one would be identification. So analyze basically your source, which data to move and what do you really have. Second one is really moving the data. And the third one would be, hey, you want to have the open table format. So you would use the tools that are coming from Apache in order to support you to move towards ORC or other formats or Parquet files. And that's what I wanted to tell you. And that leads me basically to my key takeaways. You've seen the issues that most of, at least, the large customers have seen and have experienced with Hadoop, and so Hadoop and with Hive. Iceberg can fix that with the table format, and S3 does fix, or object storage does fix the infrastructure issue, that you don't have to move your data all the time again, because you just change your schema, but the data can then stay. And it's about basically using open APIs and open formats, like the open table format. It may sound weird if a vendor says that. If you stay open, it will save you in the future to not experience another vendor login. Yeah, we can help with S3 replacing those list operations, moving to Iceberg, that you don't need those anymore, and also Finance Informatics has seen the uptake in the performance. And yep, if you need really an enterprise deployment, not just the lab one, that will work on every infrastructure, I guess. You can choose an object storage which is deemed for performance, for scale, for availability, resiliency. And with that, I want to close my session and give you some time back for the beers. Any questions?
Any questions? Everyone is thirsty for a beer, so
yeah, I guess so.
I would say thank you very much, and we still have some time now for networking. And maybe just to close the active part, so thank you for staying here with us, taking the part, asking questions, and be part of that community. And again, hopefully see you next time, or hopefully you will even organize that community next time as well. Thank you very much.